A very good morning and welcome everyone to the daily news analysis for 8th of March 2025. So today we are going to see these news articles: Egypt's construction plan for Gaza Strip versus the Trump's construction plan. Trump says that Gaza should be acquired and 2 million people, 1.5 to 2 million people should be sent to Jordan and Egypt. Now Egypt has come up with the counter proposal. This is the news article that we are going to see in today's news analysis. Then India's Purchasing Managers Index for service sector. What does it say? We are going to talk about this also. Then the other news articles that we are going to see in today's news analysis are these ones. I hope audio, video, everything is working fine for everybody. Yes, it seems to be working fine. Today it is being done in this format because I'm not that well today, so thought it to do it in this manner. Now, India's service sector growth sees sharp uptick in February. Purchasing Managers Index. As Dhaka releases violent extremists, India renews call to protect minorities. So, Indian Hindu minorities there in Bangladesh need to be protected. So, we are going to talk about Muhammad Yunus, the strategy that he has got, how he is going to bring back the normalcy in Bangladesh. Is his plan failing? What are the things happening in Bangladesh? Then we are also going to talk about India's investment in the projects, various projects for connectivity towards Northeast through Bangladesh. So these are the news articles. You have a look at the news articles. We are going to talk about them one by one. Let's get started, guys. So India's service sector activity. I have explained it many a times as to how service sector purchasing managers index tells us about the contribution of the service sector towards the upcoming GDP growth, okay, or quarterly GDP data. So let's explain it first of all. Service sector, you understand these BPO employees, or you can talk about Infosys, these companies which are having foreign exposure, okay, BPO sector, service sector. Then you talk about Tata, Wipro, TCS. So having exposure in the US and European Union. Their call centers, their KPOs are located in India. So these countries are able to bag new projects. The companies having exposure in the US market, they are able to get new projects, new assignments have been given on one hand. Then the other aspect of it is that the old pending orders that were lying there, now they have also been renewed. The pending orders that were there with them have also, they have started hiring more people so that the backlog of the projects could also be completed. Now, let's understand, any number above 50 in the service sector month on month, PMI, Purchasing Managers Index, indicates renewed activity, indicates growth. Okay. And any number below 50 tells us the contraction in the sector. So, this question might be asked in the prelims in this manner as to how it is going to happen. Service sector Purchasing Managers Index, a value above 50 implies growth, and the composite PMI. Composite means basically the PMI of both the service sector plus the PMI of manufacturing sector, including both the sectors. How much is the number? Composite PMI has stayed in this territory for 43 months now. So any number above 50 is considered to be expansion, right? Then it expanded to 59 in February 2025 from 56.5 in the previous month, offsetting the monthly slowdown in manufacturing PMI. Even though the manufacturing PMI is fledgling, okay, manufacturing PMI data is not as good, but the growth in the service sector is able to offset or is able to compensate for the fall in the manufacturing PMI. So this is the takeaway for you guys. Now moving further, as I told you, the service sector, this is for the explanation, I had kept some space. Service sector PMI data feeds into the quarterly data. Okay, let's talk about manufacturing PMI also. So manufacturing PMI, if it is increasing, then next month's index of industrial production will also see a growth. Okay, then next, this quarterly GDP data will also see a growth. So if month on month data for service sector is seeing a growth, then index of industrial production will also see a growth, then quarterly GDP data will also see a growth. So this is how, this is the preliminary indicator of the upcoming growth. Okay, this is the first indicator. that purchasing managers, what does it mean literally? It means that purchasing managers who are there, those purchasing managers are placing more orders for raw material, or they are hiring more people. In case of, they are more hiring more people, more employees. In case of service sector, employees are more important. In case of manufacturing sector, machinery and raw material is more important, right? So how can we gauge, how can we assess that if the purchasing managers are hiring more? Because of the employment data, the HSBC Purchasing Managers Index that we are studying gets to know that purchasing managers are hiring more people for the project completion. So this is the small news, but how can the question be asked? Question can be in this format in UPSC exam, that whether the increase in the PMI data indicates what? PMI increase, let's say increase, indicates A, this point, B, this point. Likewise, the question can be asked. Okay, so this is how you need to memorize things. Now, talking about Bangladesh, the situation has been sliding into anarchy in Bangladesh under the Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus. Okay, so he became the leader of the interim government that is now looking after the state of affairs administration in Bangladesh, but situation has not been improving that well. He's talking double faced, in a double faced manner. On one hand, he says that we cannot do without India. Bangladesh won't be able to do without India. The only option for Bangladesh, Muhammad Yunus says, is to improve relations with India. On the other hand, he's been talking about ex parte prosecution of Sheikh Hasina, the former prime minister or premier of Bangladesh. So on one hand, he's saying that we need to have friendly, Bangladesh needs to have friendly relations with India. On the other hand, the same person is prosecuting somebody in exile in India, its own prime minister. Thirdly, the problem is, the in India is more concerned about the persecution of Hindus, minority groups in Bangladesh. We want to safeguard the population of Hindus in Bangladesh. That is why we had in the past, seen a lot of exodus of people, Hindu people, into India from the open border that we shared with Bangladesh. Now that open border has also been fenced to a great extent. Fencing has been done. So India expressed the concern at the deteriorating law and order situation in Bangladesh, including the release of violent extremists, and reiterated the call for interim government in Dhaka to protect Hindus and other minority groups. So this is the problem here. Okay. Now, India, in the last 2 days, India has also held the meeting with the Bangladeshi officials about the investment proposals. India had invested around $5 billion. Okay, this is not a small amount for a developing country like India to have invested $5 billion worth of money in Bangladesh through line of credit. We have lent soft loans to Bangladesh. We have already seen the situation in Sri Lanka. You've already seen the situation that is going on in Myanmar. Okay, so we rescued Sri Lanka. Then let's go a little further backward. Maldives. Maldivian Muizu, the newly elected president, he was also initially talking a tough line against India. Okay, but later on they get to know that we can't do without India. So he also had to plead sorry. In the similar manner, Muhammad Yunus, who happens to be the friend of our Nobel laureate India, in India, okay, Amartya Sen. So he is now following a soft line against India. He says that we can't do without India. Let's talk about the projects that are going on between India and Bangladesh insofar as their importance, their money that is invested is concerned. You can see this 1250 crore rupees in the project. In single project we are talking about Agartala Akhora rail link. So this project will start from, rail link will start from Kolkata in India, then Petrapol onwards Dhaka. There exists a railway line already. Dhaka Akhora railway line is already there. Since it is their capital, so they already have this. Now, this will take onwards to Agartala, okay, in Tripura. So we want this connectivity project to be successful because of our vulnerability at Chicken's Neck corridor. You understand Chicken's Neck corridor? It's a 64 square kilometer, very thin area, like that of a chicken neck, from where India, mainland India, is connected with the northeastern India. So that is the vulnerability, and that is at a point blank range from China also. Now that Bhutan and China are developing ties, so we have already seen Doklam clash. Okay. Now tell me, what is the name of the river that is located on the boundary between India, Bangladesh, and Myanmar? Okay. So just name the project here. Okay. Apart from that, name the name of the river that is there between Bangladesh and Myanmar. It's near Cox's Bazar area. You must be knowing about it. Okay. Then Agartala Akhora cross border rail link. Then Khulna Mongla port rail link. This is another important project. Khulna Mongla rail link. Okay. Then Maitri Superpower Thermal Plant. India is constructing a superpower thermal plant named as Maitri Superpower Thermal Plant in Bangladesh. So that is also going to be of importance. India will be able to buy some thermal power once the project is ready. So that is the dimension of it. Okay. Besides, there are many other projects going on between India and Bangladesh. So this is the importance. We all know about the importance of Bangladesh insofar as establishing the connectivity with Bangladesh is concerned, right? So this is there. Now, this is the point I was telling you. China wanted to acquire Bhutan's Doklam Plateau. From this Doklam Plateau, this Chicken's Neck corridor is very, very close, or it's at the point blank range. China and Pakistan, they keep on nurturing this idea that if this site is cut down from India, India would lose the access to its northeastern region. Okay, so that is why via Bangladesh, the connectivity to state of Tripura, Agartala, right, Akhora rail link that we were talking about, all these projects become important. So both the sides, India and Bangladesh, are trying to find the ways out, even as Muhammad Yunus, his dream to become the elected prime minister of the country, seems to be taking the front seat, and ties with India are just being given the lip service, I would say. Okay, what is the name of river Brahmaputra in Bangladesh? Please tell me the name of river Brahmaputra, and what is the total length of Brahmaputra in Bangladesh? Okay, so these small things I'm asking you, it will be important. Every year, India and Bangladesh, they both face upsurge. They both face flood in the river. Now, yes, it is, you've answered correctly, but I won't answer it, Ravi. So this is there. Now, moving further, I've given you the two projects. Haldibari project is also there. Okay, it has been inaugurated. These are the investments, salient investments made by India insofar as the relationship with the investment ties with the Bangladesh are concerned. India has always followed. Let me also explain you the push and pull factors. Okay, if there is some crisis going on in Bangladesh, if there is some crisis going on in Myanmar, then these people will be pushed out of these countries and they will seek refuge in India. They will find some safety. They will run for their life and they would come to India. Same as happened with Rohingyas. Okay, same as happening now. From people from Myanmar are fleeing into, are intruding into India. They are taking refuge in Myanmar, and we already see the crisis that is going on in Myanmar, right? So this is the problem. So Rohingya crisis, we see that 44 to 50,000 Rohingyas have got the Aadhaar card also. So India, in its endeavor, in its try to maintain better relations, to maintain the peace and stability, keeps on giving the grants to these countries. Otherwise, we have to create pull factors within these countries so that their people are pulled into these countries rather than being pushed out of these countries into India. This is for your internal security. Push pull factors. You can take a note of it. This is how we try to maintain better ties, or we try to ensure better stability in Nepal, Maldives, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, etc. Okay. Now, what is the river on which India and Bangladesh have been trying to sign a treaty? Name starts with the T. Okay. What is the river? Name of the river I want, and how much of the river's trajectory, how much of the river's length is in India? Now, moving further. Numaligarh refinery project, this Indian BPCL, HPCL, sorry, is setting up this Numaligarh refinery in Bangladesh. This is all in the pull factors. We want to create more employment opportunities for the Bangladeshi people so that they remain there. Okay. Numaligarh refinery project, Dinajpur, Parbatipur depots. From this point onwards, the petrol supply would be started. Siliguri corridor, etc. So just study more about it. Okay. We will be studying this whenever the project itself is in news. I've given you the context that why India is equally important for Bangladesh, and why Bangladesh is also important. Okay, so this is their Bangladesh portion 126 kilometers. Indian portion is just 5 kilometer. Numaligarh is in India, and this Parbatipur is in Bangladesh. 130 kilometer, 131 kilometers is the length that needs to be traveled. Okay, so this Parbatipur depot will be connected to Numaligarh refinery. So that is there. Now, so that a gas pipeline, a petrol pipeline will be there so that Bangladesh can get cheaper oil. Now, moving further, NITI Aayog has said quite extensively, it has talked about the quantum technologies. What are the quantum technologies? How do they help us? Quantum technologies are the technologies that are required for increasing the, you can say, the India's contribution or India's edge in the field of IT, okay, space technology. Now, quantum technology basically harnesses the principles of quantum mechanics to describe the nature of fundamental particles. I hope this red color is visible to you. So, fundamental particles, India, the problem with India is that since ages, we have invested in the fundamental sciences. We haven't invested in the commercialization of the science. So, that is why now the quantum technologies, China is investing $15 billion. Okay, US is investing around $5 billion, whereas India's investment is just $750 million. Okay, it pales in front of the Chinese investment. So now, what is the advantage of this? This advantage of quantum technologies is that it will help us in getting some better quantum sensors, quantum materials, so that we can have quantum computing applied to increasing the computation power, right? So this is their quantum technology. We are trying to harness the scale of atoms in the fundamental particles at the scale of atoms and elementary particles. We need to study these things in order for us to gain an edge in this area, emerging area of quantum technologies, right? So there are quite a lot of benefits. Let's see this. Niti Aayog is basically saying that the frontier tech hub, Niti Aayog's frontier tech hub said in this release that countries that develop quantum capabilities will secure an unprecedented strategic edge which can jeopardize India's national security and economic competitiveness. Okay, now applications, as I said, quantum communications, properties of quantum physics. If we study that, if we apply that to communication, we can have better security and long distance communications. Okay, it gives us the quantum communications, gives us the security. Like we often come across the news that our defense personnel's these wireless walkie talkies or their encrypted communication system that they use might also be jeopardized or might also be hacked by China. So if we have an edge in the quantum communications through quantum technology, we will be able to securitize our defense and strategic communication lines, right? Then these are the years. Quantum simulation is used to apply to understand the large quantum systems or solve complex problems, let's say weather problems. So these can be solved through quantum simulation. Simulation, you all understand, like we have simulation or mock interviews in UPSC. So quantum simulation can be applied to weather forecasting, etc., and to treat the diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, etc. So this is there. Okay, quantum simulation is applied to treat and to diagnose these disease better, cure these diseases better. Okay, now moving further, strategic importance of quantum technology. Unprecedented strategic edge India will gain if India is able to harness these technologies. Now, national security, as I said, quantum communication can be applied to India's defense or strategic communications, the communication of home ministry, etc. Global investment, you see, $40 billion has been invested by more than 30 governments globally, but India seems to be lagging behind. India has invested $750 million. Now, yesterday there was a very good news that $1 lakh crore rupees worth of fund is being set up to give a fillip to research and development. Okay, so India is setting this 1 lakh crore rupees worth of a fund to for the startups in the emerging areas like AI, etc., so as to gain edge. Let's see if that proposal takes through. It's passed by the ministry, actually, Ministry of Electronics and Information and Technology. So National Quantum Mission India has started this, but the investment has been very less in this area. Now, National Quantum Mission was started in 2023, the primary vehicle for India's quantum development. Now, one of the track information, we will be doing the recorded news analysis from tomorrow onwards, or from Monday onwards. Okay, so are you fine with it or not? Please let us know in the comment section. Recorded in the sense that by morning I will record it, and the backend team of PW Only IAS, they will be uploading it. Yes, 14,000 GPUs. Okay. So they will be uploading it at a time around 11 or 12 as they would be deciding. Okay. So are you fine with the recorded version or do you want it live? Please let us know in the comment section only. Okay. Now moving further to frugal innovation, NITI Aayog emphasizes India's ability to achieve results with efficient spending. Frugality means kanjusi in Hindi. So we have been miserly in terms of investment into these quantum technologies, artificial intelligence. The inertia is there, I would say. Now, India's quantum efforts have prioritized fundamental sciences over technology development. We have been studying and studying, whereas other countries have been gaining edge and commercializing these emerging areas. So, emerging startup technology, India's quantum strategy we are talking about. So, what does India seek to deploy? Emerging startup activity that is there will be diverted by giving Philip the incentives for development of algorithms, etc. Okay, so there are very many advantages of this quantum sensing and metrology, as I said. Then quantum materials can be used to create this quantum studies can be used to create efficient solar cells, energy efficient devices. Okay, but there are limitations insofar as India's capabilities are concerned. We would be investing a lot, but whether we would be seeing a commensurate return or not is another factor that needs to be studied. Okay, so this is there. Academic strength over 170 professionals. Okay, over 170 professors in India's Indian academic institutions are active in quantum technology. Now, quantum safe cryptography funding. So, cryptography can also be this, cryptographic currencies that we are seeing. That can crypto mining can also see a fillip with the quantum technologies, quantum physics. Now, coming here, post quantum cryptography, countries are in a race to develop and implement post quantum cryptography to secure data. Developing a post quantum cryptography transition plan is crucial to mitigate security risks. So, these are the advantages of it. Now, moving further, another interesting news. Pashu Aushadhi Kendras to develop dairy farming, to develop poultry, etc. Okay, so animals are affected by a lot of diseases. So let us know, everyone, whether you are comfortable with the recorded version. This is the live going on, but from Monday onwards, recorded class, recorded daily current affairs session will be uploaded as has been decided by the PW team. So this is, if you can let us know your thoughts on the same, live versus recorded, what is more convenient and more efficient for you, in the comment section after the session ends, or as per your convenience, who would be watching it recorded. Let us know your thoughts on the same. So government will open Pashu Aushadhi stores across countries to provide affordable generic veterinary medicines to the people engaged in animal husbandry and dairying. So there have been some news that which is the medicine which increases the sexual activity if the milk of the buffalo or cattle is consumed. This medicine was quite in news. Okay, then this has been asked by the UPSC many a times. Then what is the Salim Ali Center? What is the Salim Ali Center? It has been asked by UPSC. Okay, Salim Ali Center, then Bombay Natural History Society. These are the related organizations. There is a medicine given to the cows and cattle to increase their milk productivity. Okay, per cattle milk will be increased if that medicine is given. But if that milk of such a cow who has been given such kind of a medicine, okay, if that milk is consumed by the kids, they attain the sexual maturity faster. Okay, so menstruation in the girls would be at an early age, because milk production in cow and buffalo is a part of the sexual reproduction to feed their, calf and their kids. Buffaloes and cows, they produce more milk only if the sexual hormones are induced in their bodies. But that medicine, if consumed, if that milk containing that medicine or ingredients of that medicine is consumed by the kids, the human beings, they attain the sexual maturity at an early age, right? So Menostart, etc. I'm talking about. So what is the name of that medicine? Please let me know. Then sexual act. This I have explained. Bombay Natural History Society. Where is its headquarter located, and what does it do? Okay. Then Salim Ali Center. What does it do? Another important news regarding cattle, etc. In the light of appearance of this Jan Aushadhi news is, which is the bird which is losing its numbers, which is dying because of feeding on the carcass of, because of the feeding on the dead bodies of cow and buffalo. That medicine has been in news and it has been asked by UPSC twice or thrice. The name starts of the this medicine, sexual activity, is O, and this name, the last medicine, is, it starts with D. Okay, so I've given you the hint also. Please answer these questions. Now, Pashu Aushadhi initiative has been conceptualized on the lines of existing Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Kendras. Okay, so while PMBJK Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Kendras are for the human beings for providing quality generic medicines, Crow, etc. No, it's not Crow. Okay, it's not that easy. So, which provides quality generic medicine at affordable prices to people in order to bring down the healthcare budget of every citizen. So, out of pocket expenditure we have been talking about the human beings, out of pocket expenditure of on drugs and medications in case a person falls ill is 70% in India. Okay, now we are talking about the veterinary drugs here. Generic medicines will be provided for animals, the cattle, buffalo, etc., at a reasonable price from these Pashu Aushadhi Kendras. This is a factual news only. Okay, and this mission has been, this Pashu Aushadhi initiative will be a part of the revised livestock health and disease control program. What was the news related to this in the budget? It was mentioned in the budget also, livestock health and disease control program. So India is gradually, you see, in the directive principles, there is an article that is mentioned about to prevent the slaughter of cows and promote other cattle, okay, milk cattle. So you see that we are gradually achieving all the directive principles and moving towards becoming a more civic society, in the sense that now free medicines, or you can say reasonable affordable generic medicines, will be made available for animals also. So they will also sell ethno veterinary medicines. What do we mean by ethno? Based upon the traditional beliefs and indigenous knowledge and practices to treat animal diseases. So this will also be there. Yes, Anshu, you're right. Okay, so this is there. Now coming to Gaza reconstruction plan. There are two plans to convert this part of the Gaza Strip. This is a kind of very interesting area, very important area insofar as the geopolitics of the world is concerned. Donald Trump in the recent days proposed that we should convert Gaza Strip, which is controlled by Hamas group, into a Riviera. Riviera means a coast area having a coastline which can be converted into a tourist spot. Okay. So it say the Donald Trump said that it can be a very interesting tourist site. The people of the Gaza can be migrated to Egypt and Jordan. Okay. So this was opposed by Saudi Arabia and other Arab countries. Now Egypt was given a chance by the US administration, by the Donald Trump administration, to come up with its own proposal. Egypt has come up with the proposal wherein Egypt says that $53 billion will be required in three phases. You can see here phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. This is not to be read too much. Okay, this is just for your awareness. So he says that the Egypt's plan has now been adopted as Arab League's plan. Okay, how many countries are there in Arab League? When was Arab League set up? When was Arab League established? This is what you have to answer. There, the Arab League here is asking that $53 billion will have to be spent. Phase 1, the debris that has got generated because of the prolonged war between Israel and Gaza, Israel and Palestine, that will take around $2 billion to clean it up. Okay. Now they will then, in the first phase itself, they will construct 2 lakh homes. 60,000 buildings will be restored within 6 months. by spending $2 to $3 billion. Then phase 2 reconstruction, $20 billion they will have to spend, clearing and construction of 4 lakh additional homes. Then restore services like water, waste, telecommunication towers, electricity, etc. This is what they are planning. Then phase 3 governance, 30 billion additional will be required. In the third phase, technocratic committees will be overseeing the humanitarian aid and governance. Okay, so this is there. A steering and management council, a fund supporting the technocrats, would support the process throughout. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas said, so Palestine is being governed by Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian Liberation Authority president. Okay, Palestinian Liberation Authority rules Palestine, and Gaza is under the control of Hamas, a pseudo terrorist group. Hamas is connected to Iran and the like forces, right? Iran, through various means, keeps on supplying the military aid to the Hamas. The army, armed equipment, etc., grenades, etc., are supplied to Hamas by Iran, because Iran does not want to lose its ally, Hamas group, controlling Gaza Strip. Iran does not want the over presence of US or US led Israel. So that is why. Okay. Now, before this war in October 2023, before the recent spell of this war and destruction, Arab world was forgetting about what Palestine's importance to them has been. They were letting go of the concerns around Palestine. But now the entire Arab League, after the recent spell of violence, war, prolonged war, seeing a lot of destruction, has again started siding with Arab cause, the cause of Palestine, the cause of East Jerusalem. Okay, Donald Trump in 2017 also had unilaterally declared the East Jerusalem a holy site of Arab world and Israel combined. Okay, so it is a site of religious site for Jews also, and it is the religious site for Arabs also. So East Jerusalem was unilaterally declared as the capital city of Israel by Donald Trump, unilaterally, without even discussing with any part of the world. Now answer, which was the first UN organization which statutorily which recognized Palestine as a part of UN system? Okay, which was the name of the body? Palestine was declared or considered to be a separate country state in the UN body. What is the name of that UN body, UN organization? After that, US in Barack Obama's years had cut the funding of that body also. Now, the recent proposal by Donald Trump says that Gaza Strip could be converted into a tourist hub to be managed by US and Israel combined. Egypt has come up with the proposal, but the problem with the Egypt's proposal is that where will the funding come from? Okay, even though we have detailed it everything into the PPT, you can give a quick reading to it. It need not be memorized. You don't have to memorize all this. So here, what they are saying is, the problem with this is, from where will the money come from, right? They are not clear about it. Money, paisa kahan se aayega basically? Without money, $53 billion, how will this project be taken forward? Then who will manage Israel, Palestine, or Gaza Strip after that? Okay, who will manage Palestine? Palestine, it's still fine. Palestinian Liberation Organization is there. Okay, but who will manage Gaza Strip after this plan? That is also unclear in this proposal. Maybe they are tacitly or silently sending the proposal to US, thinking that US will fund this project. The US is not going to fund this project. Looking at the US's withdrawal of support from Ukraine, looking at the cost cutting that Donald Trump is doing. Okay, this is just a mythical, you can say, the proposal which is not going to take forward. Now coming to another country, another European country, our S. Shankar, our Minister of External Affairs, has visited Ireland after UK to give a boost to trade and investment ties, including new action plan to give a fillip to the ties. They are planning to set up a body named as Joint Economic Commission. Okay, so as of now, the trade between the two countries is euro $16 billion in 2023, and the trade is in minerals, etc. You can talk about things like the aircraft equipment. India imports the aircrafts to Ireland, and Ireland is able to export aircraft equipment to India. Then chemicals, etc. These are the areas in which the two countries are having trade now, as of now. because of the Donald Trump's, tariff war, Ireland is the third country which is seeking to strengthen economic ties with India. Okay, so a kind of interesting time has started for India now, that one after the other we see first India UK FTA was in the discussion, then we saw India UK, then we talked about India EU, European Union, commissioner had visited India. Then India EU. Then after that we saw, which was the country that we saw after this visiting India. So there was one more country. Then now we are seeing the fourth country, India Ireland. Right. This is how you see, which is this country. Please answer. Then this is how you see the increasing engagement. The times of increasing engagement with India are going to begin. Okay, so Sone ki Chidiya is trying to regain its glory insofar as these European erstwhile colonial powers, including UK and other countries, are visiting India. So this is another country which is with which India is engaging now. And Donald Trump is in the process to make America great again. It seems that India will be able to gain out of this overall phenomena. So this was all in today's news analysis. These are the answers to yesterday's MCQs. Answer of question number 1, 2. So you guys do not answer the questions. That is another problem. This was all, guys, in today's news analysis. Okay, so we have talked about quantum technologies. We have talked about Pashu Aushadhi Kendras. We have talked about India, Ireland briefly, though. So Joint Economic Commission is the thing that you can take a note of it. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section once the ones who would be watching it recorded. Monday onwards, it will be uploaded in the recorded format. That's all. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.